What's going on, y'all? Welcome to the season premiere of Say It in 4, where we share our 4 unpopular opinions in 4 rapid minutes. Let's get right into it. First topic is with COVID-19 counts increasing daily, and they're on the rise here around the holiday season. Do you think it's still okay to get together with your relatives and friends and family during the season? Chanel, let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. I personally feel that during the COVID, first off, let me start by saying I lost my uncle to COVID. So when it hits home, it hits different. So just from my experience, I would rather not. I'd rather everybody just stay home and, be safe. I'm not saying that you can't go see your family, but is it worth it? I'm only saying that because you don't know if your family's been in contact with anybody that has the COVID. And what I'm saying is the holidays, I know certain times of the year, it's like when everybody gets together, but it shouldn't take a holiday for you to get together. You understand? I personally feel that it's better for people to just be at home and don't put anybody at risk. Like I said, this is the season now where everybody's getting sick and people don't think about that as well. Like, I don't know, you're taking a chance whether you do it or not. So all I got to say is that if you are going to go travel, I mean, obviously use precaution, but if it was up to me, I'm not going anywhere. I'm definitely staying home. I'm doing my own Thanksgiving dinner.
So nobody's coming over.
And guess what? We got video chat. We got Zoom. We got all these new features. So everybody, there's no reason why you can't see somebody. You understand? And guess what? When everything gets back in place, when the COVID is done, listen, everybody gonna be lit. Everybody will be turned out. We're gonna be traveling. This is like a life learning lesson. 2020, life is short.
Now let me ask you this: Do you think it'll be okay? Because I think it'd be reasonable and fair if people are able to prove, if they do have to travel and you're doing the necessary precautions to make sure that you're not passing that, whether you go get a COVID test, a couple of days before you go see a relative, or you quarantine, if you're planning to go to see those relatives or people before you the holiday comes, you go, put yourself in that 14-day window if that's what's required. I think that should be reasonable, right? So if people do still want to, make that trip and go see that relative. Maybe someone's on there, they're sick.
I guess.
Yeah, I say no though, because my thing is if you have to travel somewhere, right? Like you're in Boston, I'm here in LA, and if I want to go visit family in Boston, I might catch something on the plane, and now I'm going to give it to somebody. So what? I got the test yesterday. Now I got COVID on the plane.
Yeah, but that's true. But the thing that people don't understand. So
that's why you just don't go.
Right. But the thing is that people don't understand is that they don't understand is that the COVID, that stuff still remains in your system. It's not like you have the 14-day quarantine to make sure that it's not really spreading, but that stuff still stays in your blood. You understand? So
not necessarily, obviously, I mean, it makes sense to not be jumping on a plane, right? But what about if I'm in the same city? If I live,
you can get on the train. You can get in the Uber.
If you're relatively,
you can get that thing in the Uber, right?
I can't.
Look, I think that people have pandemic fatigue, and they've probably been good all year long, not doing. They canceled trips, canceled everything, and they just, it's the end of the year, and they like, we still in this, and they just,
it's frustrating.
tired of it, and
frustrating.
So let's talk about it a little bit deeper, right? We've got some of these celebrities out here right now, who they got their wealth and they're able to host these large events, similar to I'm pretty sure you've probably seen in the news the Kim Kardashian, right? She's got all of these people in her immediate family that she wants to bring together. Do you think that's acceptable for them to be able to do that, even though there's a lot of people out here struggling during the pandemic and people trying to figure it out?
Everything she does is a big production. That's Kim being Kim, and it's probably a money thing. Look, she got new skim lines coming out, all that stuff. She gotta be relevant. She gotta keep her page, people interested, people talking about her. So if she was doing it with just maybe,
if she was just doing it with maybe 10 people, would that be acceptable? Because I think maybe if she hosted an event, but it's not a big one, right? Maybe she just has 10 people, her immediate family, but they're doing something extravagant at the house, and she got the money to have them come do a COVID test, right? That should be fair.
Their immediate family is larger than 10 people. Ain't no way she's doing 10 people.
No, that's valid. I just feel like with Kim K is like, the thing is like these celebrities are wealthy. They have the money. If they want to have these extravagant events and parties, that's fine. I think a lot of that really comes from people feeling some kind of way because there's so many people on unemployment. There's so many people that are barely fighting for dinners. I can't even tell you how many times I go on my Facebook or go on my social media and it's somebody always like saying like, yo, if you need some food, contact me. Haven't seen so many people go without having meals. That's what really scares me when it comes down to it. Is like, yeah, she's throwing these parties and these pictures got released and people are getting personally upset about it. I'm not mad at Kim K for having money. She does donate. She does support other people. She's gotten people out of jail. I don't see why people have to come at her for wanting to do an event with her own money.
Right.
Maybe you should take time to reflect on what you need to do to get yourself in a better situation and not to try to come at a person that maybe has a tough circumstance. But at the same time, you shouldn't be following Kim K in the first place. Your focus shouldn't be seeing her feed online. Just being honest.
So people were upset to the idea that she's partying and stuff right now?
People was calling her tone deaf. They were saying like, yo, that's kind of inconsiderate that, some people, like one of the posts was that a person just lost their job. And it's like somebody's been waiting on unemployment, still didn't get a freaking stimulus check.
But how is that her responsibility?
Parties.
How is that her? Why is that? Why does that? She should be concerned about that.
Because I feel like
on something else.
Right, but I feel like because people put public figures, anybody that's a public figure, they make it their responsibility. Like, yo, you got all this money. People just see the money value, right?
So I'll tell you this. So I'll say this right now. If I was Kim Kardashian, I wouldn't be concerned as long as I'm doing the right things to make sure my family's, they're safe and that everybody's well. I mean, like you said, she earned that money, right? So how can we be mad at her for doing something, holding an event at her house? Now, if she's doing it on 50 people, like you said, they taking pictures and it's 50 people, yeah, that's a problem. But if I'm Kim Kardashian and I got millions or billions and I got my family and we're having a Thanksgiving gathering, I'm not concerned with what the media got to say because if she did the right precautions, she's fine. I think she's all right. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
at the same time, too, I think she needs to just kind of feel out her fan base. Probably her fans was all good with it, they love Kim and all that. Like I was saying, it's a big production. They love all that about her. But if someone was feeling a certain type of way, then she should maybe kind of listen to that. I haven't really seen, you see other celebrities stuff. They go on vacations or whatever. I saw like Sierra and Vanessa Bryant and Lala. They was doing like a family thing where they had their kids, was taking pictures on private planes, whatever. But everything that they did, it was like an innocent thing. It had like a family type of feel to it. Like one thing they was on the plane nursing, because it was like, I don't know, breast. Something to do with nursing.
Right, the breastfeeding moms
and all that. Right. Yeah. It was supposed to about that. So it wasn't like, oh, we flashing, we stunting on y'all.
So I'll say this. It's good. It's funny that we're on that topic of talking about who's following who and what when it comes to social media, right? Because the next thing I would like to talk about is, the impact that social media has on us individually. Do you feel like you're addicted to social media? Any of us here? And what are you doing to try to cut back on that? Charnetta, what do you look? Let's talk about it.
You know what? I think I was pretty bad with social media. Like I would be in the bed. That's the first thing that I would do. Like when I turn on my phone, I see the little notification. So I'm like, oh, I'm clicking on everything, opening everything to see who said what, whatever. But I watched this. It was a documentary on Netflix called The Social Dilemma, and another one called The Great Hack. But it just opened my eyes, and I got mad. I'm like, yo, you ain't gonna be controlling me. You know what I'm saying? So now I turned off all my notifications and everything, and now I'm not on it as much. Like I gotta physically go on and see. So I only do it. I check it like 2 times a day or something, versus me getting caught in a rabbit hole. Because now I'm just boom, boom, boom.
So T, what do you consider being addicted then? Because we could have somebody who's not on many apps. They're probably on just one app, and then you got people who are on like 7, 10 apps, and then all of them a day. So what about if that one person who's on one app, but they're not? They only focus on. They might be on that one app quite a couple hours a day compared to.
Yeah, but it's still considered to be social media, though, right? So anything that you do excessively is considered to be an addiction, whether it's drugs or alcohol, whatever the case may be. So if you have to pick up this phone and consume it for a solid 3 hours, 4 hours, and you drop it down, you pick it up, you drop it down, you pick it up, that's entirely too much. There's some type of analytics on this phone to show you how many times you pick up your phone a day. Okay. It also tracks how long you're on the phone a day.
Everything.
That's an addiction. If your number is over 45 minutes, 30 minutes, and you cannot control that, that's an addiction.
Don't you think the average person's over 45 minutes for each app, though? Come on. I mean, if you're jumping into whether it's an email, whether you're jumping in a text, whether you're jumping
what did we do before that was a requirement for life? What did we do before that?
Before there was this?
Before it was, the apps of the Instagram, the Facebook, etc. What were you
AOL,
doing with that 3 hours that you're utilizing now on social media? What was you using that before?
I mean, people were most likely probably doing things manually, right? So, I mean, for each of us, when you think about where we were at, where society was at the top of the decade, I mean, we didn't have the technological advance for people to have things at the fingertip to just get things done. Has changed. So we didn't have that same capability before.
Right.
So you can just jump on like people if you want to, like if you wanted to create a project, right? You can go shoot something on your iPhone and then sit there and edit it on the iMovie. Just on your phone, right? You're in that app for how many other hours, but before you probably had to take that time away and go do it the manual way. So having the accessibility to do it at our fingertips, I feel like is what's changed, and I don't think it's going to go back the other direction.
Yeah, but we're consuming a feed of what everybody else is doing for 3 hours, 4 hours. That's what you're doing. It's like the old man on the corner paying attention to what everybody's doing on the block.
We talked about people having the addiction. What do we do? What are we doing to fix it?
You decide how much time you're going to spend a day. If you got to set an alarm, a timer, whatever, do it. You know, you got to retrain yourself.
Yeah, and I think you got to figure out the why. Why are you going on social media so much, right? So some people, they want to use it for, they want to use it for business. Some people want to do it for personal. I just put out a poll the other day, and out of everybody that responded, only 5% said that they use it for business. The other 95 was for personal. So what is that personal consisting of?
Most likely things people.
What is the personal consisting of?
You know what the personal is? Because when you on the internet, you could live a different life. That's the thing. And people hide behind the internet. And people it's like a fantasy if you think about it. You could be whatever you want to be online. I mean, look at all these situations where people get catfished and, you got all these con artists and scammers and all that. I think that's why people are so addicted to it, because a lot of people have personal issues. A lot of people are struggling with problems and they don't know how to, that's part of their therapy, unfortunately. I personally feel like if anybody's trying to fix their addiction to being on social media, you definitely have to set a goal for yourself. Matter of fact, just do a challenge. Like, for a whole week, I'm not going to even go on Facebook. I'm not going to go on Instagram. I'm not going to go on none of that for a whole week. So I see a lot of people doing that.
But now check this out, right? What about social media as a form of consumption for people's news, right? A lot of people get their news through social media. I know Terrence, Twitter's one of your favorite.
Right.
You've told me that's where you like to go for. That's your instant immediate news source. So if you've got 3 hours a day through Twitter, and you're consuming your information because that's where you're getting the immediate responses from. Whether it's an earthquake happened in LA, somebody was killed in the hip hop industry, or a new person was elected, a president of a country. You're still in that space, right?
So with Twitter, for me, right, it took me about 15 minutes to catch up, not an hour.
Okay.
Not an hour.
Because you're still like over the course of whatever it is, a day, a week. The consumption total of those hours is still, whether it's on the Twitters, the Instagram, wherever you're
but bro, what we're talking about though is 4 hours, 5 hours a day. That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about 5 hours in a week. We're talking about 5 hours a day, right? So if I could do 15 minutes to catch up real quick, and then 15 at night, that's 30 minutes. I'm done.
That's fair. Okay.
How much news am I consuming?
But then do you think it's a generational thing? Because like I said, when we all grew up, it was like we didn't really have Facebooks and all that. We had, AOL, barely that. But even when you had AOL, you had to take the telephone line off the wall just so you had access to go on AOL. So my thing is, these kids that's being brought up now, they're being thrown into it already. So this is like their livelihood. You understand? We didn't have that
all day long.
For us, I think it's gonna be like, yo, I like, especially watching Social Dilemma. It's like, because I watched that too, and I was like, yo, this is crazy. All these algorithms and people really like positioning, like these are how they get the suggestions, and it's like, it's really crazy when you think about it. But I think it's honestly a generational thing. Because like I said, my kid, he wakes up and it's YouTube, Netflix, Hulu. I mean, it's just like, yo, why are you guys consuming so much of this media, like going online, and it's just too much. You know what I'm saying? I get it.
Speaking about that, how they're consuming all that, right? Let's talk about some news, right? I know a couple top of this year, last year, into last year, just overall, we've heard about the kids down in Mexico, things like that, where they were separated from their parents due to immigration, standards and things that are going on. With I believe it was over 600 kids, they were separated away from their parents, and they weren't found. Their parents haven't been found. Some of those kids, I think one kid was reunited recently. How do you feel about that?
What was his purpose for doing it like that? Like, he was trying to teach them a lesson or something? Like, what? Why would you separate these parents from these kids? You are causing so much psychological damage to these children. For what? So you could prove a point? I mean, yes, there needs to be better systems in place for immigration, and but to separate them, why separate them? Then just send them back with the parents. Why are you separating them? And now they don't even know who their parents are. And if they do finally get reunited, it's been so long. Like, if they were little kids, they're not gonna recognize their parents like this.
So we want to blame the guy who's implementing something, but whose fault is that? You were captured and you came in illegally.
Implementing. Why are you keeping the children and sending the
parents back? Right. I don't.
Why are you separating them?
There's no justification for that.
So
you're saying send everybody back. Okay.
Right. Yeah. Send that. There's no justification for that. And then you got these kids in these concentration camps and all that, away from their parents. That's so inhumane. That's not even treating people like humans.
Teach them a lesson. So to
exactly.
Them from coming back and trying it again.
Yeah, but
because they know it's a big consequence.
Yeah, but I also think that the parents are like forcing the kids to go and say, "Hey, keep on running. They're taking me, but you keep on running." Right? Now they have the kid.
I don't believe that's what the situation is.
But you don't think that they will want their child to be free, even if they're captured?
But if it's the child, right?
how are we gonna know where to go with any guidance? What are they?
But once again, he made it over to America. You're about to say something right now?
Sitting, doing nothing.
A lot of these countries, people are refugees. They're fighting. They're poor. It's like poor areas, and people are trying to escape for freedom, because essentially America is the land of the free. You understand? So a lot of people feel like, yo, I got to get out of the situation, and it's like, Charnetta, I totally agree with you. My whole thing with that is like, I'm not saying that Trump or anybody is wrong for having those implications of, hey, you got to follow procedure. You know what I'm saying? You can't be coming into the country illegally. I get that. But don't separate a kid from their parent.
So let's move on to a lighter conversation.
Talking about kids.
right. To move on to a lighter conversation, let's go do a quick round table right here. What was your favorite video game growing up? Your favorite console growing up, Charnetta?
Oh, I'm from that. Started with Atari. Ooh, telling my age.
Oh,
wow.
Ooh, baby.
You shut your mouth.
I know nothing about that.
Ooh, that's woo. Oh, baby.
I know nothing about that.
Duck Hunt, Mario, Dave and Queen, Peach, all that. Yeah.
No. Hold on. We'll get into it. Hold up. Chanel, what about you? This is one. We only need one.
Yo, Super Nintendo, where you had to like blow out the cartridge with the Q-tip, you had to get the dust out.
Yep, you got to blow the cartridge.
Right, with the Zelda game, you know what I'm saying? The Mario 64. What?
Video games with you. What was yours growing up?
I would say Sega.
Sega?
Yeah.
So my generation was probably the Sega Nintendo, the Sega PlayStation. I would say the PlayStation probably was it for me. How do y'all feel about everything going on right now with this PlayStation craze? I'm pretty sure y'all have seen it and heard about it in the media. Some of these people bought these consoles and they flipped them for, I know someone who bought one is flipping it for $900, which is crazy if you ask me. I have a PlayStation 4, but I almost never use it myself. Do you think these people are going a little bit out of hand right now?
Listen, I feel like if they were like saving up for it, they avid gamers or whatever, they saving up this, that, and the third. This is their relax, how they decompress and everything, cool. But, if it's coming down to you got to pay your rent or car payment or something to get to work or this game, you better handle business to pay your bills.
But that's the funny thing, because they have these memes where it's like, if the cost of the PS5 is higher than your credit score, then you shouldn't be getting the PS5.
Do you think these people is that a problem for them? Because there's a lot of people out here doing it.
Just listen.
Yeah, it's a problem.
But their validation for the people that's doing that, their validation is like, this is keeping me off the streets. I get to stay home.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? I get to spend time with my family and bond. Listen, listen.
So is it okay to have a 600 credit score? Is it okay to have a 600 credit score and still have the PS5 right now?
Listen, it's hard to dig, but here's my thing. If you want to get the PS5, that is on you. All I'm saying is do not hit me up talking about you need $30. You are the line for food stamps and all that because you can't feed your kids and you can't take care of yourself, but you got the nerve to be buying a PS5. Like, your priorities just don't make sense. That's all I'm saying.
Stuck on the back rent, praying COVID somehow,
Yeah.
take care of wipe the whole slate clean, all that. No.
Right. You would rather have a PS5 than not to have toilet paper to wipe your butt. Like, that's crazy. Like, honestly, something's wrong. Yo, whose man's is this? Like, something's wrong with you. You gotta go. I'm sorry.
Are you in line for your PS5?
So what y'all think?
Say what, Josh?
Are you gonna be in line for? You gonna go get in line?
No. I like to be on the back end. I own a little bit of Microsoft and Sony, so I'm good.
Yo, when you busy and making moves, you don't got time. Honestly, like, my kid wants one. I'm not gonna lie, and I just feel like maybe I will get him one, but I'm gonna wait till it gets a little cheaper. You know what I'm saying? Right now, everybody's paying $1,000 and up for a freaking console. I don't know. Do you buy it and just don't act? Just all I'm saying is just do not ask me for no $30, no $100, not one dime, and not one penny.
Well, y'all. Thank y'all again for coming to the season premiere of Say It in 4, where we speak and we give y'all our unpopular opinions. We hope to see y'all back next week for another crazy episode.
All right.